Data dictionary views related to our startup and shutdown process. That is what I want to discuss now. So I will write down the list of views here that are important. V dollar parameter, then V dollar data file, 3 is V dollar log file, 4 is V dollar control file, then there is 5th is V dollar instance, 6th is V dollar database, and I think we have already seen V dollar session here. So these are, I think, some of the important views that I'm going to discuss and what is inside each of those views. So V dollar parameter is a view which will give you a list of all of the initialization parameters and their values. List of all of the initialization parameters and all their values. Now here I want to kind of bring one thing to your attention. As I mentioned earlier, that we can use the alter system command to modify and set and the initialization parameter is equal to some value. This is the command to change the value of an initialization parameter dynamically. But you have to understand one thing, not all initialization parameters can be changed dynamically. Not all initialization parameters can be changed dynamically. Coming from the older versions to the newer versions, more and more initialization parameter values can be changed dynamically, but not all, and you have to kind of know at least some of them which can be changed dynamically and which cannot be changed dynamically. And I'm going to give you one classic example here. There is a parameter what we discussed, SGA underscore target. SGA underscore target is, let us say, currently 300 megabytes. Very small SGA is there, and now there is another initialization parameter called as SGA underscore max underscore size. Now this is a 500 megabyte initialization parameter. The value is 500 megabytes. Now what is the difference between these two? SGA target is your size of the SGA when the database starts up, 300 megabytes. Now a little later on I realized that I want to change it to 400. So what command I type? Alter system set SGA target is equal to 400, scope is equal to memory. It will change instantly in that memory. It will instantly grow the size of the SGA. If I say scope is equal to P file, scope is equal to SP file, it will change it inside the SP file, but it will not change it immediately right now. And next time when the machine is rebooted, the size of the SGA will be changed. And all that stuff that we have seen in the SP file discussion. But what is more important here is that the size of the SGA target will grow from 300 only up till 500. It cannot grow beyond that. That means I cannot say here alter system set SGA target is equal to 600 megabytes. I cannot say that. Why? Because SGA max size has a meaning. SGA max size means it is the upper limit that you can change it up to. So I can say only up till 500. But now what if I want to change this parameter? I want to change this to 700. Then can I say alter system set SGA max size is equal to 700? The answer is no. You cannot change this parameter dynamically. Why? Because that's a limitation. Every version of Oracle, as we move from the lower version to the upper version, Oracle is adding more and more parameters to be changed dynamically. Earlier there were only 5 or 6. Now there are, with the 11G, there are quite a few of them. And I think in the next version there will be more and more, because there is a lot of work that needs to be done to change the initialization parameter dynamically. So up till this point you should know that this parameter can be changed dynamically by using the alter system command. This parameter cannot be changed dynamically using the alter system command.
In 11G?
In 11G also, yeah. In 11G also, yeah. This cannot be changed. Now, but I do want to change my SGA max size. I do want to change it to 800. So what do? I still have my old option. I have to shut down the instance and then change. But now change where? This is a fundamental issue. Change where? Usually, let us say we are going to start up our database using the SP file. The problem is that we cannot open up the SP file in Notepad or VI and change it there because it is a binary file. Okay, so human beings, DBAs, can change only the text file. So this is a little tricky process. First, you have an SP file. You create a P file from SP file. We have seen the commands to create a P file from the SP file. P file is a text file. So therefore, modify the text file. Change the parameter SGA max size is equal to 700 or 800, whatever you want it to be. Change it here. So make a change. Make a change. Once this is done, again create a SP file from P file. So it will override the previous one, and in that one now we will have our SGA max size as 700 and start your database using the SP file.
Instead of that, we can give scope equal to SP file and
scope is equal to SP file, huh?
again start up it will be.
No, see, scope is equal to SP file we could have given if it was a dynamically changeable parameter. So to change the SGA max size, we have to do this process. To change the SGA target, we don't have to do this process. That's the whole thing. We don't have to do this process for SGA target because this is dynamically changeable. You just say alter system set SGA target is equal to new parameter and scope is equal to both. That will do it. But so people will ask you, how do I change a size of your or they will ask you a different question. How do I change your initialization parameter that cannot be changed using the alter system command? How do I change the initialization parameter that cannot be changed using the alter system command? The answer is yes. Create the P file, change it over there and create the SP file. You will have to do a shutdown process. So now which parameters can be changed dynamically, which parameters cannot be changed dynamically, it is very difficult to remember. So the easier way is to go inside $$ parameter, and there is a column called as is sys modifiable. That means is the parameter modifiable by the system. And if that answer is yes, in that value, the value is yes, then that parameter can be changed dynamically. Okay, so this is a very important initialization parameter. $data file, it contains a list of all the data files. We have seen that during our discussion of db underscore data underscore files. So we have seen that dba underscore data underscore files, this and this information is very similar. Then why do we have two views? And the reason is very, very critical, very important. We have seen that databases go from shutdown process to no mount to mount and to open, correct? Now we have to understand one thing. When the database goes to a mount phase, it means what? It means all the information in the SP file has been read successfully. Now what is inside the SP file? Parameters. So we can log inside the database which has been in a no mount phase. Only which user can log into a database when the database is in the no mount phase? The sys user. Nobody else can log in. So sys user, that is the DBAs, we log into the database even if it is in a no mount state, and we can query the information through the views. Query the information in the SP file through this view. So we can say select star from $$ parameter. It is actually giving you the information in the SP file. Then we go from mount to no mount. That means at this time we have also read the information in the control file. And whatever information is there in the control file can be accessed through the views. What are those views? This. All these are the views that are basically giving us the information in the control file. So if my database can go to the mount phase, can I find out the information about my data files? Yes, go to the $$ data file. Then what is this? When the database goes to the open state, then we have access to additional data dictionary views which are db underscore, because all db underscore views and everything, they are sitting inside where? This system table space. System table space is just a regular table space, and that table space can be accessed only when the database is open. So If I say that my database is in certain state, I don't know which state it is in, can you find out? So yes, obviously there is a data dictionary view which will tell us, but I can say, can you select from DB underscore data files? And if the answer is yes, if you can select from DB underscore data files, it means your database is in an open state. If you cannot select from the DB underscore data files, then your database is either in the mount or no mount state. Then I will say, can you select from $$ data file? Can you select from $$ log file? Can you select from $$ control file? All of this information is actually the information from the control file. And if the answer to that is yes, then your database is in a mount phase. And then if you cannot view from any of those, your database is somewhere here. So you have to also know, not just the startup process and shutdown process, you have to also know at what level what information is available. At what level what information is available. Let me repeat this thing. When the database is in a no mount state, you have access to $$ parameter. When the database is in a mount state, you have access to the information in the control file through these views and many other views, but these are important views. And when the database is in open state, you have access to the data dictionary views in the system table space, which are all DB underscore views. So this is the important information during the startup process. Again, this will be very valuable during the recovery. To give you an example, recovery example, that I have lost one of my data files. Okay, at that stage, can I find out how many data files I have at least? Yes, you can, because go to the mount phase, select from $$ data file, and you will know how many data files you have. So this is the mount, no mount. So these are the data dictionary views. So data file information can be found out from here. Log file information can be found out from $$ log file. Control file information names and all that, names, and so this will give you names and sizes also. Control file information is also having additional information about the control files. So these are some 4 important data dictionary views. Then $$ instance and $$ database. We know the difference between a database and instance. Instance name is going to be in $$ instance. DB name is going to be in the $$ database. Instance is going to be in a no mount, mount, and open stage. So there is a status over here which is going to tell you whether your database instance is in a mount phase or no mount phase or in a open phase, open state. So that is what a $$ instance is. $$ database is database name, and one of the important things is when the database was created. That date timestamp is over here. So those are kind of certain important views from this angle. The creation time and creation date, that is over here. And then $$ session, as we have seen, it will show you list of all the users who are currently connected to the database. And when I say database now, database instance, obviously. And this is $$ SGA stat, statistics about SGA. $$ SGA stat is statistics about SGA. What is the size of your SGA? Okay, and not just the size of your SGA. Actually, there are so many components inside SGA. The buffer cache, the shared pool, the library cache, all that stuff is there. So what are their sizes? That information is there in the $$ SGA stat. So I would highly recommend that you go and select from these views and find out what is there in each of those views. $$ SGA stat is a very important view. I think last time we had one discussion about shared memory, and I think it was one of your questions, I guess. The question was like, if my SGA size is 1 GB, what is going to be the size of my buffer cache and library cache and all that stuff? The library cache, buffer cache sizes will grow and shrink depending on the requirement. And at this time, as of right now, what is the size of my buffer cache that can be found out from $$ SGA stat? What is the size of my library cache that can be found out from $$ SGA stat? All those things are in $$ SGA stat. So these are all the data dictionary views related to instance startup and all that.
Maybe I missed something. From shutdown to no mount. How we can just log in till no mount.
The command is startup no mount. I think we fired this command yesterday when we created the database.
Yeah, right.
So startup no mount is going to bring you here to the first floor.
Okay, here all the instances are created. Right?
The instance, that means SGA has been allocated and the processes are running and your SP file has been successfully read. Because you cannot start up allocate the SGA unless you have read the SGA file. Unless and until you have read the SP file. After reading the SP file, you know what is going to be the size of the SGA, and therefore first step is to read the SP file or the P file, whichever is available, and then allocate the SGA and start up the processes. That is the first floor.
Okay, that is still no mount.
That is still no mount.
No mount to mount.
No mount to mount. Now you have come to the first floor. Then you will type the command alter database. You want to go to where? The mount phase or the open phase?
Till mount.
Till mount, then alter database mount.
Okay.
If you wanted to go directly from the first floor to this state, you can say alter database open.
Log in as a sys, right?
You should always, all these commands are with the help of sys. Now if you want to directly jump from here all the way to here, you just fire command startup.
That's it.
That's it. And from here to here again, alter database open. Anything else? How the startup and the shutdown process works? Have I missed anything in this discussion, Suhas? I don't have my notes in front of me, so I may have missed, but I will probably come back to those things. Anything else? Startup restrict. Okay. Now I will talk about startup restrict later. There is another startup command which will say startup restrict, and that is going to open the database all the way to the open state. But the moment database is opened, everybody will start coming and doing certain things. Other users will start coming in. So you don't want everybody to kind of come in and log in automatically. You want to only restrict the access to yourself as a sysdba. Then you fire the command startup restrict. I will write it here. Database is open, but still nobody can connect to the database. And since database is open, you can select from db underscore data files, db underscore this, db underscore that, but still nobody can connect. Except you, obviously.
Except the sys.
Except the sys guy, yeah. So why would somebody open the database in the restrict mode? Maybe he would like to do this. This command is executed very frequently during the upgrade from 10G to 11G or something like that. Nobody should connect, but I am going to do certain operations. So that is when these things are executed. Okay.